Hey guys, Scott on YouTube again. Gonna do a little bit of a cleanup video today. Got a couple things sitting behind me. We're gonna move some stuff around. It's after work, about 7:30 ish. Um, um, on September 27th, in case you're wondering what time of year this is. So fall time, getting into fall time. So gonna move the car, gonna move the truck. Got this engine. It's been sitting here for 2 weeks. Need to jack it up, and we're gonna move some stuff around. I'm gonna put it back in the carport there. I need to move some stuff off a pallet. Bring you guys along with me, and we'll see how things progress. So first, we gotta move the pickup out of the way. We're gonna be throwing some extra parts I'm not using off the donor engines, and we'll get there going. So you're gonna be up here on the tripod, and I'll be moving stuff around. So don't go anywhere. Literally, stay on the tripod. I don't want this phone falling off. Just want to do a little update for you guys. The Dodge 2013 Dodge Challenger might have a potential buyer for it. I did a couple of things on it. I got my reverse camera working again, a couple little things like that. Car isn't clean or anything. It needs to be detailed, and well, maybe not detailed, but vacuumed out, washed. You know, the basics, just enough so it looks presentable to the possible future owner of this car. Supposed to be coming out next, would be the first weekend in October. So fingers crossed, you know, all the fingers crossed. They're interested and they're willing to give me what I'm asking for. Currently asking $19,000 for the car. Runs and drives great. Haven't had any issues with it. But yeah, it's nothing wrong with the car. Just it's time for it to go on to a new owner. Where I live, it's just not a good place to have a car like this. If I lived on the highway or pavement, much better car to own in those particular situations. This car sits outside, and it's just I believe it's just time for a new owner. So it's nothing, like I said, I love the car. It's a great car. Just I'm not the right owner for it right now, unfortunately. Maybe in the future, if I move into town somewhere, I might get another one. Like I said, these cars are plentiful. It just depends on what you're willing to spend on them. This car, it's gonna irk me when I sell it because I know it's low mild, and when I'll go to buy another one, I'm sure I won't find what I had here. So kind of sad, but bittersweet sort of deal. But it's just like, you know what? The other thing is, when I do sell this car, funds from this car are going into my future house when I decide to, or if and when I can find a house that I can afford to purchase. So currently where I'm living now, this is a rental property. So those of you that are not aware, yeah, it's an old, this house was built in 1904 from what I was able to find online. It's an old farmstead. It's no longer, none of these buildings or anything have anything in them anymore. That used to be a horse and I believe cattle barn back there. So as you can see, there's no big overhead door like you would on a lot of your other barns, which is kind of annoying. Also why vehicles sit outside. Otherwise, yes, I would probably park stuff in there depending on how the mice and things are in there, which they probably are not good. I'm going to say that much because they even get into my little work shed over here, which as we progress, you'll see it. I'll move around a little bit. Hopefully you don't fall off the tripod. Anyway, I'm going to move the car out of the way, and then next we're going to be I'll probably clean the pallet off first in the shed, and then I'll have to do some stuff with the lawnmower, and we can get this engine over there in the carport out of the weather because I don't want that sitting outside. So we'll do that, move the car next, and continue on with the cleanup. Alright, I'll bring you over here to the cleanup process of it. Got a pallet of parts and whatnot sitting over here, and we'll throw them in the back of the pickup here. Hopefully you don't fall over in the process. Bear with me. Okay. Are we stable? Yes. Some of the stuff I might be reusing, but as for right now, nothing's just kind of junk. So, hopefully I'm not irritating some of you that are watching, thinking I'm just making content just for the hell of it. Now this has a purpose. As you'll be seeing here in a little while. That's why I wore my steel toes. Junk tangled up on the pallet. Unfortunately, a lot of this is destined for the scrap pile. Got an old R12 compressor off of an 86 F-150. As you can see, I don't care about it as I'm throwing it. Wonderful smog pump off of the same vehicle. Just a disclaimer, I never actually had the 86 F-150. Actually, that motor that's in that 95 F-150 behind me, that's actually in that truck. This, on the other hand, I'm saving. This is going to go into the Ranger, as well as this. These are the two boots for the shifter. As an inner and an outer boot setup for some reason. I don't really know why, but that's how they do it. This is what's going back into the Ranger. Getting rid of the long shifter boot that I had originally. And this is out of the a 95 F-150 two-wheel drive pickup. Not that truck. That truck's an automatic. So I'm going to go stash this in a different place. I'll be right back. Alright, went through that in the shed. I got some engine components here and things of that nature. Got random radiator hoses. Might be hanging on to these for fitment when I get that V8 stuck in the Ranger pickup. I'll show you I'll give you a walk around on that in a little bit here once I get some stuff cleaned up. But that'll be later. But a regular clutch fan. That could potentially go onto that engine if I end up getting parts that, or if I'm able to package it in the engine bay properly and have enough room, it might get a clutch fan in it. And if not, it's going to have an electric fan. I already have the electric fan for it. I like to use a clutch fan. I think they're simpler. Don't got to deal with wiring crap. That'd be nice, but, you know, sometimes things just don't work out the way you want them to. So I'm not going to get my hopes up too much. I know some of you are probably wondering, why are you taking all this stuff off of a pallet just to throw it in the back of your pickup? I need to put an engine and transmission that came out of my 88 Ranger on this pallet in the shed. I'm trying to get it out of the elements over the winter. I will probably be throwing this engine and transmission combo up for sale at some point. So if anybody's interested, it'll probably be for sale locally on Facebook Marketplace. And I might just post it on some Ranger sites and stuff if anybody's happen to be local. Not going to ship, none of that stuff. So, but if you are interested in it, it's a running 2.3 liter carbureted motor. It has a 2-barrel Holly Weber carburetor on it. It's a 5-speed manual Mazda transmission. It's 2-wheel drive. The truck that it was in is not the original motor from the truck. This engine actually came out of an 83 Ford Mustang, I was told. It was put into a Lotus 7 kit car. That's what the guy I bought it from in Lincoln, Nebraska. That's where he said he got it, or that's where he said it came out of. I saw the car in person. It had a different motor in it at the time, but he had all the components and stuff that made it look like it would have went to that car. He had the exhaust and everything that are very unique to those cars. So I don't know why I wouldn't believe him. So anyway, there are a couple components I am saving off of this pallet. I'm going to be saving the clutch and the flywheel because that's very specific and I need to keep that for this engine. I do have a power steering pump if I ever decide to go that route, but I'm going to have to get a steering box. Right now this truck has manual steering. It was like this from the factory. Since it was a 4-cylinder truck, they didn't require power steering on them, at least in the earlier ones. This truck is also a base model truck, so it has manual brakes, so there's not even a power booster on this truck, which is weird. I had an 83 in high school, Ranger, and it had power brakes, which is, I don't quite understand it, but apparently for some weird reason it didn't get power brakes on the later ones, but the earlier ones did, and that also had a 2.3 in it with a 4-speed. So I don't quite know. Anyway, gonna keep cleaning and we'll finally get to the main deal of all this. Extra oil pan, just in case we ran into some issues, which we did not, luckily. I'm gonna have to dump a bunch of fluids and stuff all over me. So far, so good. Here I'm looking, realizing that, hey, guess what? I had exhaust manifold bolts this whole time. Oh well. My stack of transmission mounts, or engine mounts, I should say, off of 2 different motors. I should mention that this is a compilation, this 302 that's going in this F-150 is a compilation of 2 different motors. It's parts from an 86 F-150 and parts from a 95 F-150. As well as a 1988 F-150. So it's a big merger of things. Some stuff works, some stuff doesn't, and it works with a little bit of modification. I did have to get a custom water pump pulley due to the differences in my belt routing. I'm using a serpentine belt setup just to keep things simple, but that's not always the thing everybody wants to use. Some people say V-belts are easier. I like serpentine belt setups, less likely to slip. They also have a spring tensioner on them, so I think it's just easier. Yes, the belt breaks. You know, they always say the belt's gonna break. You know, stuff like that's gonna happen. So I don't really truly believe that. That 83 Ranger that I had in high school with the serpentine belt setup, I've never put a belt on that thing. It's probably the original belt from 2005. Never touched the thing. It's the original belt since I owned it. That motor lived a kind of a brief life in this 88 Ranger that I have behind the camera here, which I'll show you guys a little bit later, which I know it's not in the truck, but the belt is actually that is on this, I'm trying to think, well, I'm not 100% sure. The belt that's on there might actually be that same belt, but it's just kind of the irony of it. I'm not one of those people that just buy stuff randomly, like, oh, I need a new belt, I need new this, I need new that. If there's nothing wrong with it, I'm not just going to go buy new stuff. Perfect example. Clutch, 95 F-150. Yeah, it looks pretty rusty. Guess what? We have a brake lathe at work that's able to turn flywheels. At least certain ones. And I think this one will work on it. So, we're taking it to work tomorrow. Going to work till noon. I'm going to put it in the back of this pickup. It's not junk. I'm saving it, of course. And it's going to get shined up and reused in this 88 F-150 Ranger swap. I guess for the hell of it, I'll hold on to the clutch too. So I got a little bit of life left on it. Might be one of those ones, I don't know. Experts, feel free to comment. Think I should get a new clutch, or do you think this one's salvageable yet? I think there's still a little bit of life left in it. And it's not a daily driver. The syringe will not be a daily driver for those that are wondering why I would ever put a clutch on a vehicle. Getting pretty close to being cleaned up. Another heater hose and a 5-gallon bucket. Okay. Now it's cleaned off in there. Now for the fun part. We're going to get this engine onto this pallet. I think we had some critters living in here. Got some droppings. Try to pick you up and move you around some more. Anyway, if this is boring, I'm sorry. I'm just doing some much needed cleanup here. Been putting it off because, well, I get busy with work and sometimes my projects get put on the back burner just because I run out of steam. After work, you do stuff all day, and last thing you want to do is just come home and do it again. You know, granted, different form, different thing, but you know, I work on cars for a living, so sometimes you get home and you're just like, I don't want to do car stuff right now. I just want to relax and take it easy. Well, one day turns into 3 days, next you know it's a week. You know, don't put it off too much. I'm trying to light a fire under myself and let's get this stuff done before it snows. That's right now my goal. So anyway, keep on cleaning, and next thing behind me here is this engine. It's going to end up on that pallet I was just cleaning stuff off on. This is going to be an interesting one for you guys. See if I can zoom you guys in here a little bit. I need to figure out a way to do two things. One, I gotta get that up onto a tire, lower it down, and then I gotta put these wheels that I made, and then we're gonna fire up a mower. We're gonna move it over there. So that's gonna be an interesting thing to do. I told you guys about this project me and my dad came up with a little while ago, and this is gonna be the, I guess, maiden voyage of it. We'll see how it actually works. It'll be a good test for it, and because this probably weighs about as much as the V8 does as an assembly, so I'll be curious to see how it does as far as driving around on the uneven surface and crushed rock and grass mix, dirt mix. Like I said, it's nothing like mind-blowing, like something crazy. It's something a lot of people could probably make if you have welding skills. I could have probably made it if I had the parts laying around, but I didn't, and like I said, my dad's a little bit more competent welder than I am, plus he has the equipment and stuff. I just have a little 110 welder. Some of this stuff probably calls for a 220 welder, and that's just a little bit more than what I can do here. Like I said, a rental property, I got 110 in this little shed here, and I definitely push the limits of it, so we'll keep on getting things set up here, and we'll see how things go. You're lifting it up. Hey, guess what? You think you get all the antifreeze out? No, there's more antifreeze in it. Oh, come on, lift up. some of you are probably wondering why I'm doing it this way. It's just a little easier for me being by myself, so I don't have any helpers. I'm going to show you guys the little things we came up with. These are caster wheels, or basically off a cart wheels. They slide to the end of the arms on the engine hoist. You got two of them here. They got little holes drilled in the top of them. If you can see the reflection there, the hole shining through there. These two are going to go in the end there, lift it up, and in theory they should roll on grass. As long as you're not driving on muddy surfaces. Goes in like so. And then like so. Next we gotta get the lawnmower up here. We'll see if the dumb thing starts. That might be a little bit of a trial and error, so I'll put you on pause here. I'll get it running and over in the position, and we'll go from there. As soon as I can get the video to start. Okay, back at it again. Got the mower fired up. Battery connections were a little wonky on it, so it took a little bit extra time to get her going. Also needed gas. Turns out there ain't no gas in it. It has a leak or it evaporates out over time. Anyway, the goal is to jack this thing up, twist it sideways, set her down, scoot her over there, and you'll either see me succeed or struggle and fail. It'll probably be a little bit of both. So, keep on watching. Gotta add the drama in, you know, because that's how we do things. Let's see how well this goes, and probably will go terribly, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Okay. Just enough so it doesn't fall. Okay. Sitting on the wheels. Let's see how this goes. This could be a big win or an epic fail. Gonna have to grab something for our starter.